My hair says about me that I am an artist, a creative person. I'm not afraid to be myself. If there's I'm feeling like the sense of like a transitional period in my life, I'll be like, I need to change my hair color. I need to make some kind of outside change that sort of signifies I feel differently inside. Growing up was like hard. You know, my parents struggled a lot financially, and my mom went through a pretty serious depression when we were little, and she like didn't leave the couch for a long time, and it was hard for me and my sisters. And then when I came out when I was 15, and I didn't really come out. I was caught kissing my girlfriend, and it kind of turned into this really hard time in my life where they didn't accept it, and you know, I went and lived with my girlfriend's family. My mom's Samoan, my dad's Mexican, and I think that through their lack of experience, just didn't really understand how to handle the situation. Right around that time, like right around when I was 15 was when I started like coloring my hair pink and stuff. I cut my hair short, and I was like rebelling and like skipping school and like doing a lot of drugs. I think it was mostly to fit into this new queer identity. I was like, okay, like I should look gay then. This was like 20 years ago, so I was still very much living in the binary. You're either like a femme or butch, you know? I wanted to explore my masculine side, and I felt like doing that on the outside would help me understand it more on the inside. Now I see that I can feel like a man on the inside and not necessarily look like one on the outside. That girlfriend that I had in high school for all those years that I like left my family for ended up like betraying me and cheating on me, and like, so I came to New York heartbroken. And then I ended up in a relationship that was really abusive for like 5 years. That was like when I started to be more like of a performer. Then the ego came in, you know, and it was like I was like touring and stuff and doing these really fun things, but I was like just seeing the lack in everything. And I finally left with like no money, no house, no phone. And I got one of my friends to help me, and I literally started from scratch, and then I learned how to make music on my own. When we broke up, I was like, I'm dyeing my hair natural. So I like dyed it black, and I was like, had black hair for like a year and a half. I didn't want to be seen. I was really hurt at that time. Then I started coming out with solo music like in 2014, and I was blonde again. And I put out an EP, and I was really happy. And then I cut it short. I was in a relationship that I think I was like not really feeling good about myself again. I kind of like, I feel like I was like on this like independent path, and then I kind of like got back into this like dependent path. And I cut my hair, and I dyed it like blue, like dark blue, and I was like having dark blue and dark green hair, and it was like short. And I really wasn't feeling too good about myself during that time period. She dumped me, and I was like, I'm miserable. You know, I was like, I'm so sad, I'm so heartbroken. It was like for me, it was like one of the biggest heartbreaks. And I started healing myself again and being happy and getting over that relationship. And then I met somebody who's amazing, and we're engaged. And then I started growing it out, and then it was like turquoise, and then it was pink. And it's just, this is how, now it's gotten this long, and I just want to keep going. For me, a relationship is a three-way relationship. It's two people and spirit, or God, or universe, or goddess, or whatever word you want to use. And two people that are on the journey, on the path together, and they understand that about each other, and they help each other grow in that way. You have to define success in a different way, because if you're defining success for like recognition or money, there's never going to be enough. I was doing a meditation, and I saw myself holding myself in the meditation, saying, you're okay, you're doing a good job, like everything's okay. And it was such like a powerful moment that I wrote down on a piece of paper, what do people need? And then I wrote, how can I help? And so from that point on, I was like, I'm not going to put out any content unless it fits into these things. What I started doing was making the higher self memes. That's what's brought me and my mom together. Because she's a very spiritual person, and she's really proud of that work. I feel most beautiful when I'm making somebody else feel good about themselves. when I'm shining that light of love in them and I can see it in their faces and I can see that they're smiling back at me and we are like exchanging this beauty. And then you see it all around you, see it everywhere. You walk down the street and you're seeing it in everybody, you're seeing it in everything. Part of me is like, when am I gonna have my natural hair color again? And a part of me is like worried that I won't look interesting with it. I want to stand out, and it's like your spirit stands out, you know, like your love shines so bright that it doesn't really have to do with what you look like. It's the energy that people feel.